Don't take your eye off the prize because everything feels miserable right now. These are the opportunities that you don't get given often. And I'm not taking a view of whether it, can't fall another 30%, even 50%. But if you think the upside is 10, 20, 50, 100x over the next 10 years, then this is the best risk reward you will ever see.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Raoul giving us a market prediction for crypto and how the landscape is looking for the rest of the year. In the midst of the crisis that has seen many cryptocurrencies plummet, Raoul believes the crypto market is nearing its bottom. As crypto asset values continue to tumble, the former Goldman Sachs executive explains why he believes the market is on the cusp of a major shift, despite the fact that crypto is in full panic mode. Powell says that just like past cycles, many cryptocurrencies are going to zero. However, even if Bitcoin prices have fallen to a 2-month low versus the US dollar, 46% of Bitcoin owners are still profiting. It's easily outperformed all other assets over the last decade. The 17 best performing asset classes from 2011 and 2021 were tracked last year, and Bitcoin handily topped the list with a 230% annualized return. The Nasdaq index came in second on the list with a 20% annualized return. Let's check out this interview with Raoul as he tells us what to expect in the crypto market for the rest of the year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
I think the key thing is I think you've heard a lot from me about the magnitude of what is happening, how fast it's happening, and that everybody from the incumbent financial system to new disruptors to brands to cultural things, to central governments, to central banks, everybody is involved in this space. It's not going away, it's not a fad. Just remember where we are in the macro cycle. Remember that these things take time to go from where they are now to full adoption. If we continue at the pace that this has been adopted, we get to about 1 billion people by 2024 and probably 3 billion by the end of the decade. So it's going to happen pretty fast, particularly as these central bank digital currencies start rolling out and other initiatives start rolling out. So don't take your eye off the prize because everything feels miserable right now. These are the opportunities that you don't get given often. And I'm not taking a view of whether it, can't fall another 30%, even 50%. But if you think the upside is 10, 20, 50, 100x over the next 10 years, then this is the best risk reward you will ever see. Okay, what do we actually have at Real Vision? Real Vision had created, we led the world in the creation of long form financial interviews and analysis. And we'd grown a passionate community who cared about finance and crypto and macro and all of this stuff. And they wanted to talk to each other and they felt part of Real Vision. And I realized we had something special. And I realized that back in maybe 2019, 2020. And then as NFTs and social tokens and the other applications of blockchain technology, I realized that the future of all businesses is actually going to be community. Community is the business model that is sticky, creates loyalty, and where you participate in the network with your users so they can have benefits from being part of the network, as opposed to the extractive system of, let's say, Facebook, where yes, we get free utility, but the shareholders get rich and you don't, and it creates this rich poor divide. But what blockchain allows you to do is when you own a token, you own a participant share in that network, and therefore if the network goes up in value because people are using it a lot, then the value of the token that you own goes up. So that applies to all business models. So it becomes really interesting to think of community as the business model and then unlocking it with Web3 technology. So once I realized that, I knew that this had to be done because everybody will go there, because if you're allowing others to participate in your network and capture a share of the value too, your network's going to grow faster. It's as simple as that. And so we realized that this was a great thing, and there was a lot of fun we could be had with this, not just from having NFTs, but about what else can we do? How can we coalesce people of like-minded interests into groups that want to do certain things?
Over the last 24 hours, approximately $300 million in long and short positions have been liquidated across cryptocurrency markets. With losses accelerating, many analysts wonder if crypto will overcome market volatility. Retail investors were the driving force behind this movement during the last decade. However, sovereign wealth funds, global financial institutions, businesses, Pension offices, governments, and other institutional investors are becoming more aware of the crypto market's potential.
This is a huge adoption of technology, and most of the financial institutions hadn't yet invested. Only some of the family offices and high net worth who could take more risk or more nimble, they could do it. But the big firms hadn't, and they want to allocate capital to the space, but they weren't yet able to. And I looked at the hedge fund industry in crypto, and it's about $1 billion. And then I look at the traditional hedge fund industry, it's about $3 trillion. And I'm like, wow, this entire space, which was, at peak a few $1 trillion, was so underinvested by capital and professional investors like hedge funds. They just hadn't raised capital in the space because it was really difficult for people to allocate to single hedge funds because they didn't understand what they did and what's the custody risk, what are these wallet things, how does it all work? But I thought, well, the best thing to do is to create an asset management vehicle to allow people to invest capital in a more diversified way across a bunch of different hedge fund strategies. So you've got experts running your portfolio, experts at our level who are making portfolio allocations and doing the risk analysis of the hedge funds. And so that's a way that larger investors can put more money at work and start capturing the alpha in this space, because there's enormous amounts of alpha because there's so few professional investors in the space. It's mainly retail investors plus a few trading firms. So that was one business, the exponential age digital asset management that we're building out today. Because if you get people as part of your network, you create a much more robust system because you have a direct relationship with your customer. You're not paying Facebook to deal with them. You're not giving away money to middlemen. And what you're doing is creating much more loyalty, engagement, and value for everybody. So not only the artist, the sports team, or the fashion brand makes the money, but everybody does by owning the assets in that ecosystem. It's kind of a Hermes handbag as part of that. Somebody will have a Hermes handbag because it proves they're a member of that club. Obviously, they've wildly overpaid for it, like you overpay for a Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it shows you're that person, you assign yourself with that brand. There's no reason that can't be digital as well. And that, I think, unlocks a huge amount of value out of culture and brand that doesn't exist in this world. These things are currently intangibles on a balance sheet. But if you look at something like Disney today, which is a $250, $300 billion company, what is the intangible cultural and brand value of Disney? If you were to tokenize all of its franchises and all of its ecosystem, if Disney had its own system of currency, how much of it's worth? It's probably $1 trillion, maybe $2 trillion. So that's how much value gets unlocked of new GDP that didn't exist, which is the cultural thing. And it also solves another problem. As humans are being pushed out of the workforce by robots and AI, what role do we play in a digital society? The role we play in a digital society can be participants in the network. We can be people who are community members who add value to the community and get rewarded by the community. So we can operate within these ecosystems of our favorite brands, much like kids are trading sneakers these days. There's a lot we can all do to operate within, 4 or 5 communities that we really care passionate about, whether it's a pop star or a sports team, and to help grow that and to keep it vibrant and alive, and you'll get rewarded for that. And then you can spend those tokens within that ecosystem. And what you've got is a way for people to earn like a universal basic equity online for the participation in these digital sovereign states or digital communities based around culture.
Raoul goes on to say that from a macro perspective, the stock market as well as the cryptocurrency market are both on the verge of experiencing a worse recession. Powell believes that the end of the year is when we will experience a proper bounce or bottom based on all the technical indicators he employs. He believes that many people are likely to panic between now and then, but if the central bank reaches the inflationary threshold, Raoul feels the Federal Reserve will have to intervene. Many analysts feel that the current banking system is on the verge of collapse, and that the fiat currency world will have to make a major adjustment, or else it will ultimately come crashing down. Raoul says he still sees the bull market ahead, but until we see what happens in the crypto market in the next 30 days, we'll have to wait and see. What do you think about Raoul Pal's interview on the crypto market? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.